The first time I saw her, she was standing in the shadow of the eclipse, her skin glowing faintly like moonlight trapped in glass. Her hair flowed like liquid silver, and her eyes, those endless, star-filled eyes, seemed to pierce through the very fabric of reality. She didn't speak, not at first. Instead, her voice echoed in my mind, a melody of ancient words I couldn't understand but felt deep in my bones. "Help me," she whispered, her voice trembling with a desperation that sent shivers down my spine. "If you protect me from the cold, I will reward you, human." I should have run. I should have locked the door and pretended I hadn't seen her. But something about her otherworldly presence, the way she seemed to shimmer in and out of existence, drew me in. I stepped aside, letting her into my cabin, unaware that this simple act of kindness would pull me into a war between gods and monsters, between creation and destruction. Her name, as best as I could pronounce it, was Nyra. She was no ordinary alien, no mere traveler from a distant star. Nyra was something far older, far more dangerous. She claimed to be one of the Aeon Pantheon, a race of celestial beings who had once ruled the cosmos. But her kind had been betrayed, imprisoned by their own creator, a godlike entity known as Kaelos. The eclipse, she explained, her voice a haunting melody, is not what your scientists believe. It is a seal, a prison holding Kaelos and his machines. But the seal is breaking. If he escapes, he will remake your world into a nightmare of gears and code. I laughed at first. It was too much, too fantastical, too insane. But then she showed me, with a wave of her hand. The air around us shimmered and I saw it. A vision of Earth, its cities crumbling into dust, its oceans boiling away, replaced by vast, mechanical landscapes. And at the center of it all stood Kaelos, a towering figure of flesh and metal, his eyes burning with cold, calculated malice. "Why me?" I asked, my voice trembling. "Why come to me?" Nyra's gaze softened. "Because you are kind," she said simply, "and because you are human. Your species has a unique ability to adapt, to survive against impossible odds. I need that strength." Over the next few days, Nyra and I formed an uneasy alliance. She taught me things that defied logic, how to manipulate energy, how to see the threads of reality itself. In return, I helped her acclimate to Earth's harsh environment. The cold was her greatest enemy, sapping her strength, dulling her glow. I gave her my warmest blankets, my thickest jackets, even rigged a makeshift heater from spare parts in the cabin. But as the days passed, I began to notice something strange. The eclipse, which should have lasted only a few minutes, lingered in the sky, casting an eerie, perpetual twilight over the land. Animals fled the forest, and the air grew heavy with an unnatural silence. Nyra grew weaker, her once radiant skin now pale and dull. "The seal is breaking," she whispered one night, her voice barely audible. "Kaelos is waking. We must act quickly." She told me of a weapon, the Sword of Singularity, forged in the heart of a dying star and hidden in a temple on Mars. It was the only thing capable of stopping Kaelos. But the temple was guarded by YGGR, a monstrous serpent machine hybrid, a relic of the ancient war between the Eons and their creator. "If we can retrieve the sword," Nyra said, her eyes burning with determination, "we can repair the seal and trap Kaelos once more." The journey to Mars was a blur of fear and wonder. Nyra's ship, a sleek, silver pod that seemed to hum with life, carried us through the stars in what felt like moments. But as we approached the red planet, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. Nyra's explanations felt too convenient, her urgency too desperate. The temple was exactly as she had described it, a massive, crumbling structure half buried in the Martian sand. But as we stepped inside, I felt a chill that had nothing to do with the cold. The air was thick with the scent of oil and decay, and the walls seemed to pulse with a faint, mechanical rhythm. YGGR was waiting for us. The serpent machine hybrid was enormous, its body a twisted mass of metal and flesh, its eyes glowing with a cold, calculated intelligence. It moved with terrifying speed, its coils slithering across the floor as it lunged at us. Nyra fought bravely, her hands glowing with celestial energy as she unleashed waves of power at the creature. But YGGR was relentless, its mechanical body repairing itself almost as quickly as she could damage it. "The sword!" Nyra shouted, her voice strained. "It's in the chamber behind it. Go!" I hesitated, torn between fear and loyalty. But Nyra's gaze met mine, and in that moment, I knew I had no choice. I sprinted past the creature, my heart pounding in my chest, and found the sword embedded in a pedestal at the center of the chamber. It was beautiful, its blade shimmering with a light that seemed to come from within. But as I reached for it, I felt a sudden, searing pain in my chest. I looked down to see Nyra's hand, glowing with energy, pressed against my heart. "Forgive me," she whispered, her voice filled with sorrow. "But gods need vessels." I woke up back on Earth, 3 days before the eclipse. The cabin was exactly as I had left it, the air cold and still. But something was different. My chest ached where Nyra had touched me, and when I looked in the mirror, I saw faint, glowing lines tracing patterns across my skin. The knock on the door came just as the sun began to set. I opened it to find Nyra standing there, her eyes filled with a mixture of hope and guilt. "We don't have much time," she said, her voice trembling. "Kaelos is coming. What would you do if you discovered that the gods of myth were real, and that one of them had chosen you to save the world?" If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more thrilling tales of sci-fi and mythology. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think Nyra's true motives are? Could you trust a god? Let's discuss.